Welcome back to United USA. As the Ukraine invasion by Russia continues, things are heating up. What up, YouTube? What's going down? Hope everyone is having a good day. A lot going on in the headlines, as always. Of course, Ukraine situation seems to be dominating the headlines. Yeah, what can we say about it? So many things. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Ukraine says so far that more than 2,000 civilians have been killed in this battle. The seventh day of the invasion, Russia's attack on Ukraine intensified overnight. And Ukraine and Russia have the number of casualties growing. Russian missiles targeted residential communities and administrative structures in Ukraine's second largest city, according to the country's Ministry of Defense. The graphic footage captured the regional headquarters of a government building on fire. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky has pleaded for military help from international allies, including the U.S., saying they need more boots on the ground to win this war. But President Biden has said U.S. troops will not engage in Ukraine's war. The president was asked today if he's considering banning Russian oil imports.
Nothing is off the table.
Do you think that there's a Russia is committing war crimes?
We are following it very closely. It's early to say that.
But those caught in the middle of this conflict disagree.
Let the world see the war crimes that Putin does now in Ukraine, in Kharkiv.
Those fighting to survive this invasion recorded the destruction, the bloodshed around them. They say included the killing of civilians. The U.S. has pledged humanitarian aid and security assistance. The U.S. Army deployed 3,800 soldiers to Europe to aid NATO allies. The World Health Organization Director General also said the first shipment of medical supplies for Ukraine would arrive in Poland on Thursday.
There is an urgent need to establish a corridor to ensure humanitarian workers and supplies have safe and continuous access to reach people in need.
Today, the UN General Assembly passed a resolution to reprimand and censure Russia. They're calling on Russia to immediately withdraw all its troops from Ukraine. A non-binding resolution, but it does have some political weight. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield accused Russia of using lethal weapons prohibited under the Geneva Convention. She pushed other UN member states to hold Russia accountable for its actions.
At every step of the war, Russia has betrayed the United Nations. Russia's actions go against everything this body stands for.
So now you can clearly see that Russia, well, Putin is getting quite desperate. The fact that he even made a threat about nuclear war shows two things. He means business or he's bluffing. It's one or the other. It's either he means business or he's bluffing. Which is it, right? Once upon a time in my life as a very experienced poker player, I can tell you that part of the game of poker is really knowing your opponent and your opponent's moves and the track record of your opponent. Can I give an opinion on it? Not right now. Do I think he's bluffing? I don't know. But it's either he's serious or he's bluffing. It's either one or the other, right? But it shows that he's getting desperate, I think, because I think he knows, just seeing how NATO is rallying, I think he can clearly see that he's about to get himself into to deeper, hotter water, so to speak, just for the simple fact that there's a lot of NATO countries that are ready to make a move. The United Nations, obviously, not happy with it as well, so it's possible that Russia might have bit off more than they can chew, and Putin is an example of somebody who will not negotiate. I know they're saying, well, they're having talks about negotiations and this and that and whatever, but at the end of the day, he's not going to negotiate. It'll be more of a compromise. It's kind of like an ultimatum, really, is what it is. It's kind of like, well, here's what it is. Give us possession of Ukraine. We do not want Ukraine to join NATO, and we don't want a NATO base on our border. So join us, or else we'll destroy you. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, I don't like what Russia's doing, but I understand what they're doing. And I think when you put it in perspective, that's really what's going on right now.
I'm ordering the Minister of Defense and the Chief of the General Staff to put the strategic nuclear forces on special alert.
Russia has the biggest nuclear arsenal in the world, and Putin wouldn't be the first leader to give the order. In 1945, the US dropped 2 nuclear weapons on Japan. They effectively ended the Second World War and killed over 100,000 people. In 1949, the Soviet Union tested a bomb at this test site in what is now Kazakhstan. Then, in 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis almost brought nuclear war between the US and Russia. And having come so close, in 1968, the world agreed a new arrangement, the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. 191 countries are currently signed up. Nuclear powers agreed to reduce their arsenals. In exchange, others agreed not to have them at all. And in the 70s, the deals between the US and Russia continued. 2 more focused on long-range missiles. And though the rivalry of these superpowers intensified, in 1991, there was the New START Treaty. It aimed to decrease the size of their overall arsenals. And underpinning the West's justification for these weapons is an idea called nuclear deterrence. The UK government fact sheet states that potential aggressors know that the costs of attacking the UK or our NATO allies could far outweigh any benefit they could hope to achieve. The possibility of mutually assured destruction being the strongest of reasons not to press the button. That's the theory, but it's under pressure. This week, the former Russian president, Dmitry Medvedev, warned it may pull out of the New START deal. And both countries still have huge arsenals. America has an estimated 5,428 weapons, Russia an estimated 5,977, all of which is why we're looking to history and the present.
It's not the first time this has happened. It's happened several times during the Cold War. It never, of course, led to nuclear war, but I can't see how this is a positive development for the Ukraine crisis.
That is perhaps an understatement. And today, Russia blamed various comments by the West for its nuclear escalation. The Kremlin spokesperson said, "We believe such statements are absolutely unacceptable. I would not call the authors of these statements by name, although it was the British foreign minister." Now, it seems unlikely that one comment by Liz Truss is the reason Putin feels the need to flex his military muscles. His troops are on day 5 of this war. Kiev hasn't fallen, the West is united, and so he raises the stakes.
This is a reminder of, almost Soviet-era brinksmanship, nuclear brinksmanship, like we had at the height of the Cold War. But the question is, what is the strategy here? What is the end game? And I wonder if Putin actually understands that or knows that.
I would say it's fair to say that Putin knows exactly what he's doing. He's not a crazy person. He's very calculated. But is he a psychopath? Yes. Please like and share this video.